This is all from all your friends at Law Faculty, University of Ghana, Wisconsin University. Sorry about that. Happy birthday to you, Fafa Afetokbo, and also to you, Lady Reverend Mrs. Rebecca Nikwe Amasa of the CFCI, Tema Afarewa branch. Happy birthday. This is from Mr. and Mrs. Okutu. If it's your birthday today as well, happy birthday to you. A special one. Also to Prince Leslie Chris Chills, aka Kwame Scientific. Chris Leslie Chills, aka Kwame Scientific. This is from Mama Sita. Happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday, we wish you all the best. Let me say a big fat thank you to Masterna Smokes in Tamale. He provided my smokes for today. Happy birthday to you. Masterna Smokes in Tamale provided my black and white smoke today. I know Malik Basentali is jealous, but it's okay. He's all brought one before. And actually, Cookie wrote this for me, so it's fine. Malik Basentali is the Savannah Regional Communications Officer of the NDC. George IEC is right by the bend. He will join me as the PR of the National Disaster Management Organization. We will quickly take a look at this. When we return, we'll have that conversation going on.
Over the years, both parties have been used to, majority and having their way all the time. NDC has had it, MPP has had it many times, and now there's a new reality, and each party is having a lot of difficulty in terms of trying to reset its mindset to this new reality, and that's what has been creating all these challenges. Parliament is setting a very bad precedent. We don't want some of these things to be repeated. At the very least, particularly the leadership of Parliament has a structure. I know they have conference, they have pre-sitting discussions and so on. I would have expected that most of these things are resolved there before they get on the floor. Because if we are not careful, even this issue of absenteeism and referral to the Privileges Committee, if we are not careful, somebody is going to run to the court and say that the standing orders are not clear. Because what the Constitution says is a little bit different from what the standing orders say. Current standing orders that we have date 2000 and it's now almost 20 years old. A lot has changed over the years, and then we have seen what we have never seen before. So, with all these history, with the current happenings, I think the time is ripe for us to really look at, how the rules can change. And then also, I think we should even sit down and assume a lot of maybe very difficult scenarios and try to factor in the standing orders how we can respond to these scenarios. Different scenarios like we wake up and then the majority in Parliament is opposition. How do we deal with this? We wake up in Parliament and then the President has to choose some MPs from the opposition to be part of government. How do we deal with this? A number of other scenarios.
And that's Dr. Rashid Dramani there. He is with the CSO that is focused on parliamentary affairs. My guest this morning, Malik Basentali. He is the NDC's Savannah Regional Communications Officer. And also George AEC is the National Disaster Management Organization's PRO. Gentlemen, welcome. How are you doing?
Very good.
Malik, how's your weekend?
Well, a bit tiring.
You didn't enjoy the Easter?
Oh, Johnny, you would admit that, we would all admit that this is one of the driest Easter festivities we've had, in over a decade. People were locked up in their rooms. What we used to buy, the celebrations we had in the past. As of yesterday, if you went through town and some sites where, you usually find people celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, you found out that we had very few people there, and a lot of people were locked up in their houses. And so, I mean, there's no way I was going to, I mean, enjoy my Easter with the current conditions in this country. You would admit that things have doubled. Prices of things, commodities in the market are on a rise. With a very fixed and static salary, with a very static income, I don't see how, let's just put this in perspective. I mean, those days moving to Kowu, let's say if last year, even though there wasn't Easter, but moving to Kowu will cost you, 5.4, a litre. Today, you are going to use twice that amount to buy food there at a static salary or at a static income. So, if everything expenditure has doubled, a bag of rice that used to go for about 130 cedis today is going for almost 400 Ghana cedis. A bag of maize that used to go for nearly 150 cedis is going for 500 Ghana cedis today. A gallon of oil, tomatoes in the market, and all that. If all these things have doubled on a very static income,
looks like your problems are plenty.
There are so many, and they are not just my problems, Johnny. It's a national crisis. We all experience it. My brother experiences it because he goes to the pump. You experience it because you go to the market once in a while, you buy things, by the roadside, coffee brook, man, how you guys call it, and the rest. And so things are on the rise. And so a lot of people had to struggle their way through, this festive season.
I hear you.
We have life, we have hope for a better future.
You had no fun at all, nothing to watch, nothing to enjoy, nothing to listen to. 000. Yours was bleak.
Well, I spend a lot of time on loud silence media. Once in a while, I watch what happens there. And I watched a lot. If I'm given, some time, I can.
And I can only give you 1 minute because George has not said hello.
Johnny, there's this trending Bruni, she has a name like that on social media. I don't know what the story is about, but you see, George is here, and I would want
George knows her.
No, I'm sure he has heard. You see, I want to be very real with regards to George. No. I'm sure he has heard some of these stories of Sewa and whatever. Look, Johnny, it's a national security matter. There are criminal matters in there. We cannot allow it washed down the carpets. We must set up, we must look at the criminal aspect. Yes, there are a lot of intimate aspects. Whatever happened in hotel rooms and what have you, it's not my business. I won't debate that. I won't speak on those lines because it's someone's private matter. Whether someone underperforms or overperforms is his matter. It's not my matter.
But asked you what you enjoyed during the Easter.
Yeah, that's what I watched.
That's what you enjoyed.
That's what I watched. You said what I watched. And I'm telling you what I watched.
What you watched, what you listened to,
what I listened to,
what you ate.
And so I was watching this. And I'm saying that the most critical aspects of whatever I watched on loud silence media, of one Sewa Bruni or whatever, is the security aspect of whatever she said.
What about it?
I
didn't watch it, but what about it?
Who would accuse national security authorities of forging a robbery on her, a robbery attack, all because she had some nudes of the president of the republic and all that. It's so indicting.
You believe that?
That is what I heard, and I'm George is here.
But George cannot authenticate that.
No, but I'm not asking him to authenticate it. But he should carry the news to the presidency. That they need to set up and refute such allegations.
I hear you.
We cannot just allow it go like that. And so those were some of the things I watched, and then
when you had time to resurrect Jesus' resurrection.
Yes, while Jesus was resurrecting,
you were listening to those things.
To things that had to do with
I hear you.
The under resurrection.
Mr. George, you see, he's laughing at you. George, step in for me.
Yeah, thank you.
I asked the man good morning.
Yes.
And the man has gone and brought Sewa Bruni and he's gone all around. He has not even told me how he
perambulating, circumnavigating.
He has not told me how he enjoyed the Easter. I asked him a simple question.
Simple. That's what one may ask. Where birds settle on trees.
Yeah.
Therefore, one may ask, what is a tree? The more filler. Because the guy read on trees.
Yeah, so
and then when he went, they asked questions on birds.
Branches kakra. Roots kakra, stem kakra, leaves kakra.
Johnny, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing?
My brother, I'm good. Good morning to Basintali. It's always good to see him.
young man, very enterprising and supporting the cause of his party. We need to commend the young ones.
He has thrown some things at you.
Yes, I know. The shades are
would you pick
part
them?
of there.
Would you pick them?
Before I respond to that, let me say good morning to my former tutor at the Presbyterian Training College, now Presbyterian College of Education, and former headmaster of Petroleum Secondary School, Mr. Ochei. Ochei, good morning. You are an ardent viewer of this program, and I know you are watching now. Hati Kropon, good morning, sir.
Right.
Yeah, the festivities. You know, yesterday I drove from my village, Samankesi, through Orem, through Suhum, all the way through Koforidia, and then to my humble village in Amanfro, Edukrum, Equiapim, and then climbed to Edukrum, to Ekropon, and I saw people having fun. Okay, I didn't go to Kwo. I saw people having fun, and people also went to Kwo. And people, you know, before the Easter Fest, Good Friday, we had the incline that all hotels in Kwo were booked.
Right.
I was in Kwo about a month or 6 weeks ago. And prior to a BTV, a TBA, you know, calm. Now, festivity, everybody is moving there. So I wouldn't say things are not hard. His Excellency, the Vice President, has admitted that we are in telling times, difficult times, and he enumerated some of the reasons for the inflations and the high cost of living. We have said time without number that imported inflation has been part of the reasons. If a container of this thing is about $1,446, and today it moved from $1,446 to $9,738 cedis. Dollars. Then it tells you that differential, that variance is going to be passed on.
But
to
the president was in
consumer.
Kwo chilling with the IGP.
Oh no, they went
Have you seen the video?
No, I haven't seen it.
People say he was chilling, long convoy.
No, he went there.
Old man was enjoying.
But the chiefs wanted him to be there to help in these
the festival.
Yes, and then
Abetifi,
yes,
the launch of
yes,
it. But he was chilling. That's what people are saying. Have you heard that?
You are telling me.
No, people say he was chilling. He had a long convoy.
You see,
the man. So yesterday somebody mentioned, said, but the man said we should cut down on our taste.
Yeah.
The man said he has cut down 30% of his salary. Yeah. But the man has 18 V8 in his convoy, and he was dancing. So he said that to me. I said, I don't know.
Johnny, the convoy thing, maybe one day your bites will take it. But
no, I won't
sometimes,
take it.
No, I'm coming.
You don't decide my bites for me.
I'm not deciding.
My bite is my bite.
I know, and I love it, you know. You know, sometimes when the president is moving, the security details, other chief executives within the region, all of them want to be present to, you know, ensure his safety. Show face. So some of these things tell on the convoy issue. The president can say, I don't want to go with more than 5 vehicles.
Right.
But the regional minister and his team will be there, and district chief executives within the Kwo
They'll all be there.
must all be there. You get it? So I understand the worry of the people. I've watched the Queen's convoy sometime, and it wasn't easy. Okay, Joe Biden sometimes it's not been easy. Okay, so these are challenges. But to round it up, we have admitted that they are difficult times. But the truth, again, we've also assured that these things are just for temporal moment. It's going to go. We will overcome them. The exchange rate depreciation, you know, the vice president gave some reasons that were so interesting, Johnny, before around. He looked at the fact that the investors were afraid that our budget wasn't going to be passed, and then we're not going to meet our revenue targets. And co. So speculations became rife, and people were repatriating their capitals and co. You get it? And so those had telling effect effect on the exchange rate, demand supply thing. Fortunately, now e-levy has been passed. People have the assurance that the system is stabilized. And so it's moved from 8.2 and now it's around 7.4, right? So gradually we'll get back. I know it's going to go down to about 6.9.
Malik, we have to go to
EIU
Parliament.
is saying we should go, it's going to go by end of year 7.87. But I think it's going to come down to about 6.9.
Yes, Malik.
If you remember,
we have to move away.
Yes, but on this convoy issue, in 2018, the president declared that in any tour, of his, government appointees were supposed to board an STC bus.
Right.
If you remember in 2018,
they
they did it in the Ashanti region.
But they used it.
Yeah, they used it in the Ashanti region, and that ended it. He said one thing, and they are doing another today. And so I agree with George when he says that, yes, other government appointees would want to follow convoys and whatever. Yes, it's so normal. But, the convoy of a man who declared that, pack your V8s, board an STC bus, and let's move, and declared it. That henceforth all his stores on convoys, we're going to cut short. So probably the president's car, the advanced protector, the rear protector, maybe these ones fine. Then maybe a security
Have you apprised
detail.
yourself
The
with
rest
latest
are
because the president gave a fiat not to purchase vehicles and co. You remember that?
Is there a
but there are buses. There are buses available.
But what are you suggesting?
That's why you should apprise whether that order or restriction is still.
Do you know that the
president or not?
Hold on. Do you know that the president in 2017 said that he had banned the purchase of new vehicles?
Yes, for a period.
He said he had banned. He didn't put a period to it.
No, he gave.
What was the period?
That I think within that year.
I remember. Malik, hold on for me.
Purchased new vehicles.
George, I remember there was a.
There's been more new purchases.
Malik, I remember vividly.
Yes.
The conversation with Johnny Osei Kofi was deputy chief of staff, right?
Yes.
And lawyer Ikwe Otu.
Yeah.
And the fact that some state vehicles had been stolen.
Yes.
641 vehicles. Is that the number? And that they needed to be brought back and all of that. On the strength of that, the president said he was using the 2007 vehicles procured for Ghana at 50. President Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
So I remember that vividly. Since President Akufo-Addo got into power, 2017, he has bought new vehicles, but he has not struck out that order that we are not buying new vehicles until recently when they said we are not buying new vehicles. I'm asking, when he said in 2017 that we are not buying new vehicles, when did he lift that ban?
No, thereafter, I think in 2018, thereafter, there were purchases ongoing. So,
but he didn't lift the ban. That's what I'm saying.
But that can be done, directed. He can direct the chief of staff to direct that. And look, my wife was using the 2010 registered V8. Right. All through till she moved to when she was in education.
I'm saying
2010 registered. Sometimes we all got worried when she's making a longer journey.
You see, I'm saying that.
You hear creak sounds.
And I know, and you should be worried as a husband.
Yes.
But I'm saying that the announcement in 2017 was for purpose.
Yes.
To give us assurance that we're not going to spend, we're not going to buy, we're going to use the old vehicles.
And we did.
We used the old vehicles.
For a short time.
But when we started buying new vehicles, that public announcement was not made. So the people are still under the impression that we are using old vehicles, but they are new vehicles.
A whole lot of new vehicles.
I under the impression.
I am under the impression that
some are using the old ones. Some are using, but some have gotten new ones. New CEOs.
Let's move away from those ones.
Thank you.
Let's go to Parliament. You heard Dr. Rashid Dramani. Unless you didn't hear him, we can play the video again. Maybe you were focused on Sawa Bruni, so you didn't hear him.
That was fundamental.
He called me to Sawa Bruni.
I can imagine. Please play the video. Dr. Rashid Dramani video again.
No, but Johnny, I made a very solid point.
I didn't say you didn't make a point.
It wasn't a playful one.
It's okay.
I mean, if someone should accuse you, you're a married man, someone accuses you of underperforming, describing your libido and all that. No, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not a funny discussion. It's not a petty discussion.
Can you play my video for me, please?
It's not one we should just allow, under the carpet.
So what do you want to do to the president now?
No, they must speak about it.
No,
about what?
Over the years, both parties have been used to, majority and having their way all the time. NDC has had it, MPP has had it many times, and now there's a new reality, and each party is having a lot of difficulty in terms of trying to reset its mindset to this new reality, and that's what has been creating all these challenges. Parliament is setting a very, very bad precedent. We don't want some of these things to be repeated. At the very least, I mean, particularly the leadership of Parliament has a structure. I mean, I know they have conference, they have pre-sitting discussions and so on. I would have expected that most of these things are resolved there before they get on the floor. Because when you
Welcome back and thank you very much, Malik. So, Dr. Rashid Rahman is Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs boss. He's talking about the disagreements in Parliament. He's talking about the fact that we have a hung Parliament, some of the decisions that have to be taken. And you do know that as recently, we have Kennedy Japan, we have Adwoa Safo, we have Henry Quartey, who have been referred to the Privileges Committee for absenteeism. And we also do know that when the matter finally comes to the plenary, Adwoa Safo cannot vote, Kennedy Japan cannot vote, Henry Quartey cannot vote, and the chieftaincy minister, who we are told is bedridden, cannot vote, which means that the numbers have reduced on the side of the majority. Kwesi may not be part. That's 137 on this side. How do you feel about it?
Well, Johnny, it's in the interest of the Ghanaian people, to some extent. You see, this is the first time we are having, a hung parliament. We have equal numbers with an independent candidate. If you look at all the decisions that have been sent to Parliament, since the inception, from 2020 to date, you would realize that at all times, matters are properly scrutinized, matters are debated upon well, and then the best decisions are taken. Until the MPP of recent times realized that no, we must use some imaginations to always get our way through. I think that even if the NDC, when we come to power in 2025, I would still wish for a hung parliament.
Why?
Yes, the reason is that Ghanaians are able to have a better understanding of issues and policy. Ghanaians are able to have their bills and policies discussed and deliberated upon properly, and then there's a vote. If you remember the recent e-levy, where we saw the minority fighting vehemently against it, was in the interest of the Ghanaian people, and everyone represents his constituents. And if you realize, the minority even pushed for a secret vote, because we knew vehemently that the MPs on the majority side or on the MPP side, a lot of them were opposed to it.
But the government insists that you are putting spokes in their wheels.
Had different opinions to it.
The government insists that you are trying to draw them back because sometimes they bring matters before Parliament or a certain bill and you are trying to railroad the process.
Oh, Johnny, during COVID, in fact, after COVID in 2021, when there was a need for a rapid credit facility from the IMF, we fast-tracked it. A lot of other things have been fast-tracked in Parliament just because it's in the interest of the Ghanaian people. But on matters that we feel that would hurt the economy, we tend to deliberate upon it. And then we don't just debate it. And I think that this is how Parliament should operate. The MP is there, yes, to make laws. He's there to debate upon, on bills and then pass his vote on them, representing his constituents. But then he must do it in the interest of his constituents. And if you remember, Johnny, all around the country, there were crusades left, right on this e-levy matter. There were people, who came out vehemently to oppose it. MPP people spoke against it. And they said it was going to overburden them.
Which MPP people?
You can go out there and have debates. In my region, in fact, we were going to even have an inter-party coalition.
Why didn't you?
Because it was fast-tracked and they passed it. When we didn't know. In fact, the bill was even laid in Parliament when most MPs didn't know about it. And remember, there was a brouhaha on that. And so, this matters like this, of course, would have MPs on the minority side opposing, because it's in the interest of the Ghanaian people.
But the government has told you that we need to raise the money to help with development.
But if you have a government that has borrowed over 280 billion, if you have a government that has had enough, domestic revenue, if you have a government that has had over 1.7 billion in petroleum windfall, if you have a government that has had funds in excess, 3 billion in excess from the ESLA levy, if you had the sinking fund is available, the get fund levy, all accruing, if you have a government that has imposed over 21 new taxes on the Ghanaian people, and still did not use that money for any, beneficial purpose for the people of this country, then what else can they do in this country to benefit the citizens?
So you don't.
And that is what we are saying. Johnny, if you look at the expenditure on only the president's trips, they are enough to develop, about 5 villages and then provide them with cheap compounds. It's enough to do that. If you look at the expenditure on office of government machinery alone, it's enough to provide schools for over 10 communities. If you look at the expenditure on even buying petrol for over 18, 20, 30 V8s that follow the president around, including the one that carries just his chair, it's enough to provide cheap compounds in so many and water supply in so many communities. And so we are saying that if you look at the revenue that's going to be accrued, that's going to be, squeezed out of the already impoverished Ghanaian through e-levy. You would clearly see that nothing else can be done with that money because they've already had so much funds at their disposal, and yet they've not been able to do anything in this country. Johnny, we are pegging on their monetary inflows to what they have achieved so far. And Johnny, the Asante said that Agrobeswa, if we are not. If I've given you...
Maybe you are not seeing what the government is doing.
Maybe they are not doing what I want to see.
Oh, but how? Are you the only Ghanaian in Ghana?
I want to see what they promised the people of this country. If you promised us 350 new senior high schools, I want to see those new senior high schools. If you promised us new hospitals under Agenda 111, I want to see it in my community. I want to see it in my region.
COVID and Russia. COVID is there, Russia is there, Ukraine is there.
But Russia, Ukraine started just a month and a half ago.
COVID has been here with us forever.
But during COVID, the president was flying at 17,000 pounds an hour on a private jet.
Yeah.
And so if during that period, the president could still raise such amounts of money to chill, to enjoy, live like an Arabian kid, why can't they fetch money to provide what we want to see? So, Johnny, I'm not seeing what I want to see. I want to see them reducing the dollar because that is what they promised us. I want to see fuel prices coming down because that is what they promised us. I want to see prices of commodities in the market coming down because that is what they promised us. One village, one dam, one district, one factory. I want to see these things. They promised national theaters in every region. I want to see them, the cinemas. They promised industrial parks in every region. I want to see them. My region is hollow. It's underdeveloped. They are in power. They have promised us a lot. You come to the Savannah region and you can't see a single project ongoing. Under this government. Johnny, I want to see the roads. They promised to develop roads. I want to see that. I want to see the market points. They promised us regional markets, regional hospitals. I want to see that ongoing. Then when I see that, I would be compelled to at least donate a quarter. But if at the end of when I wake up in the morning and I come out, I want to brush my teeth in the yard, I see a private jet of the president whining and dining and bathing in the sky. You don't see. No, but if a plane flies, you don't see it.
But how do you identify that is the president's plane?
Oh, if you see Qatar Airways, you don't see.
Okay.
If you see Emirates, you don't see. So if I see the president's 17,000 pounds an hour private jet flying over my house, I see. No, that will prevent me from contributing through e-levy because he will use it to fly bigger jets in the near future.
Hey, George. George, Malik is not happy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
He's a citizen. His
Not a
Excellency,
spectator.
yes, the president is taxed
But are
all
you
of us to
happy?
be citizens. Yes, there are challenges. We've admitted it. His Excellency, the Vice President, in his latest lecture, is alluded to issues. I was so excited with the lecture because he raised 11 pertinent questions that Ghanaians have been asking, and he answered all the 11 questions plus more, and I was happy about it. Now, before I get back to that arena, let's talk the parliamentary issue, the concern of the man, the doctor. Yes, it's well placed. We have a hung parliament, and both parties must respect that. We shouldn't pretend
it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Okay, if it happens that way, then we are giving the people more difficulty. The people have made a decision, given a hung parliament. Manage it, see how you're going to cope with it, and then run the affairs of state through Parliament on that score. What it means is that you respect the other party and the need for us to continuously engage the other party. That respect and engagement should be continuous so that the other one will also know that, yes, whatever policy decision you are taking is in the collective interest or good of the Ghanaian. Okay, that's the ultimate thing. We say we are bringing e-levy. Yes, we think that will help, especially in the face of the challenges around the globe. Okay, the credit availability and because of your rating, the Vice President also touched on that. The Fitch and Moody's ratings, you know, it's all affected. Okay,
but that was that was rejected by Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, who was the manager of our
No,
he rejected it.
No, he said
he had a press conference and rejected it.
He called us, he disagreed. Okay, you cannot say it doesn't exist. Okay, you know, CAA1 whatever.
In fact,
that's the rating
he rejected it.
To you. Okay?
President Akufo-Addo went on BBC and he rejected that as well.
No,
our economy is not in a terrible state.
Yes,
but that's what Fitch and Moody said.
Good, and the reason the Vice President gave the reason that some of the projections that were made, okay, revenue that will be accrued, we had projected that it's going to move from 57 to about 83 billion, okay, about 40% addition, and because those bills were not passed, the budget had not been passed, the world was sitting on tenterhooks, okay, looking at the Ghanaian economy, saying no this, and so if they factored those into the rating, okay, then you know you can't begrudge them. But you also believe
we are not alone.
Once these things are done, you'll be able to make
Fitch and Moody's didn't do the rating just on Ghana.
Of course.
So
of course.
What is
No, they have the right to disagree, but it doesn't wash away the fact that that rating had been done and the world economy is making decisions based on Ghana.
But you see, George, you are rejecting a rating from an international rating organization, and Johnny Hughes sitting here, George Ayisi, Malik Basintali, and everybody who is watching us, their personal economies does not sync with what you are rejecting. It syncs with what has been said by Moody's and Fitch. That's where the problem is.
Yes.
So you are rejecting that what they are saying is wrong, but their personal economy, when they want to buy their gari, their rice, their toilet roll, their soap, it doesn't reflect what you're saying.
It's been admitted in this lecture by the Vice President, who is also the head of the
But I'm saying the manager of the PES,
Ken
Ofori-Atta, he rejected it.
He has the
he
right
put out a
He
statement.
gave reasons.
But,
he thinks the timing and all
I'm
that.
saying that
these things, you base your decision on these things.
But
these things will be resolved.
But George,
when it is resolved, are you going to do
but
the
George,
rating again?
his boss, the Vice President, the head of the economic management, he admitted to what Fitch and Moody's said.
Good.
So what was Ken Ofori-Atta rejecting?
Oh no. He did. He gave his reason that this temporal. If you base your this thing on this,
is his reason?
The bill, the e-levy will be passed, the appropriation bill will be passed, and all that. So then what happens?
So what reason
and we'll get our
what reason did Dr. Baumia give? What reason did Dr. Baumia give?
No, he said the world was watching and said because there's the high propensity that the e-levy will not be passed. And even the budget itself was going to face challenges in being passed. And two, we're not going to meet our projected revenue targets, okay, of 40% increase.
Right.
Okay, and so they were a bit hesitant.
Did Ken Ofori-Atta not know this? the Yale trained economist. Did he not know that? Did he not know that? Did he not know what Dr. Baumia was saying?
But in that space, you have the right to challenge and disagree. And that is exactly what it is.
I'm saying that you can challenge you.
Yeah, and disagree.
But when I go to the market to buy my water...
No, it's true. Honorable Ofori-Atta admitted when he had the engagement with the media. Yes, things are tough now, okay? But he admitted. You can say the CD had not moved from 4.2 to 8.2.
So what was he challenging? That's what I'm asking you. What was he challenging?
So let's make progress. On the issues of the economy, I was happy the Vice President gave that lecture and answered all the 11 major questions.
Because I think the Vice President did a better job than Mr. Ofori-Atta. You will not agree, but it's okay.
No, it's not. You see, it's the aggregation of all the inputs made by all of them. Okay, the vice president gave a full lecture, which brought what the president said, what the finance minister said, all of them. Okay, and then put it on the table. And I was excited. Over 150 projects completed and ongoing and all that. What they say the loans have been used, they have not been used for. So if they are minded to want to know what is being used for.
But you know that the vice president's address,
yes,
after he did the admission and spoke on nationalistic level, tried to bring everybody to the center. When he derailed into the politics,
you know, he just did
but you know that has been fact checked, right? For example, saying that you have taking off 17 taxes.
Yes.
That's not correct.
Why is it not correct?
If a tax is imposed on water, VAT, and it's imposed on this cap, and it's imposed on this one, you cannot say you have taken 3 taxes off because VAT is 1, correct?
Yeah, VAT is 1.
Thank you. But so when you apply it on 3 different things.
Product specific. It's product specific. If you're saying this product is attractive, but this product is not attractive, that's this thing. So what are we doing? If you are taking these off, yes, it's product specific.
A blazer is a blazer like you're wearing. You can't say because we are wearing 3 blazers, there are 3 taxes on 3 blazers.
No, every blazer has that tax. If you take the blazer tax out, then we are going. When you go for a cotton wool shirt, Woolworth, you know, it's there, imposed.
I am suggesting to you.
If you take it off, all those who wear Woolworth will continue to impose.
I am suggesting to you that when you go, but taxes are imposed through Parliament.
Yes.
When you go to Parliament, you apply for 1 tax imposition.
Good.
You don't apply for 3 tax impositions.
Dr. Tia Kabil, my very good friend, very intelligent.
He works at the Vice President's office.
Yes, a very intelligent.
He works at the Vice President's office.
Yes. He's a good friend, a former GRASAG leader.
He works at the Vice President's office.
Yes. Okay. He gave good explanation, and Dr. Vice President's spokesman. Gideon Buaku, that another young brilliant.
That's where we are.
You get it. They gave the explanation, but it doesn't. You can disagree with them. You can disagree with them. Okay, Professor
Jambafo.
Yeah. So these
what the brilliant
people are there, and
then we are where we are now.
No, these are temporal. You know, with you yourself brought the COVID thing in.
What is temporal?
No, some of the challenges, it will be resolved. You know,
no, that's
because CD depreciated within a space of less than 6 weeks.
George, that's not what I'm asking you.
About 8.2, and now it's coming back. Reality check.
George, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you that if you impose VAT, or NHIL, or COVID, whatever it is, or Bola tax, or this one, and that same Bola tax applies to this mug. That same thing applies to this.
Yes.
You have not taken off 3 taxes. You have taken off 1 tax that applies to 3 things. That's what I'm saying to you.
Things, yes, but
so don't say you have taken off 3 taxes.
Those things, airports ticketing, VAT on that. Those traveling to Tamale by flight.
But VAT is VAT. VAT is VAT, George.
VAT on that specific product.
But VAT is 1 tax.
So those there, and then the VAT on banking services and co. taking off. What are you talking about? You cannot say it is. There is a section of VAT applying to specific products.
When you took I'll come to Malik shortly.
Yes.
When you took your bill to Parliament on VAT, you didn't say you were imposing 3 different taxes or 4 different taxes.
No, we said
you said you were
importing
one. Thank you.
So it's applying on these products.
But it is 1 tax. It is not 3 taxes. It's not 4 taxes.
No, the tax experts will be able to speak to that better.
But that.
So I wouldn't want to.
But that was dishonest.
I had PhDs explaining that.
But that was dishonest.
I wouldn't pretend to be,
Malik,
a
step in
better
for
person who understands it. But I appreciate the explanation they gave, and it sits down well.
But I'm saying that was dishonest.
No, it's not dishonest.
Well, that's my opinion.
Because the list is there. It was imposed on something.
Can I use your list?
Why not?
This is your list, right?
No, this is the list for projects.
I don't want that. I want the VAT.
Yeah,
the one
VAT
on the VAT. Open it for me.
Yeah, let me check it.
Now, Malik, why? Yeah.
John, it's surprising that we would want to make this the current state of the economy a temporal matter, and then peg it on to COVID-19 or Russia-Ukraine. Even in 2019, we were running a construction sector at minus 8.5%. In 2019, that's before COVID. In 2019, before COVID, we had borrowed over 150 billion. In 2019, before COVID, we hadn't constructed a single school out of the 350 new senior high schools. In 2019, I'm telling you, you can mention it. Mention one out of 350 schools. Mention one.
Which 350?
350 you promised us. Oh, you've forgotten.
Where?
President Kufuor promised that upon assumption of office, they were going to build 350 new senior high schools. You can check it.
Malik, hold on
And
for me.
so
Well,
even
let's take a
before
quick break. We'll
2019
return. Your sound is not too active. Let's take a quick break. We'll return to TV3 New Day, Big Issues. We'll see you after the break.
Madam, please hurry up. I'm running late for work.
But what do you do?
Oh, I'm a major stakeholder in the local food industry. I manufacture and distribute golden, deep-fried, spherical, and sometimes ovoid-shaped dough balls.
And what about fruit?
Pa!
Yes, Buffalo!
Shine your hustle every day with the goodness of Fan Yogo. So cool, so good. This advertisement is FDA approved.
62351251.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hello, Mommy. We miss our kids and can't wait to see them. This season, you can win exciting prizes when you buy Nido. Buy your favorite Nido 365 grams and get more milk free. Nido, your love, their future. This advert is FDA approved.
Step by step, every day, practice so.
A mom knows the importance of a good habit, like a tasty breakfast every day. It's 6 vitamins and the energy she needs.
Every day is a chance to shine.
Breakfast with Blue Band.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello there. GMB 2022 is here, and TV3 is celebrating its 25th anniversary, and so we're giving you the opportunity to suggest the next queen from your region. All you have to do is to post a picture of that beautiful queen from your region. Tag her. Tag at TV3 Ghana with the hashtag GMB 2022 on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and she could be the next queen. So start posting and tagging now. Ghana's most beautiful, redefining beauty to promote national unity.
Welcome back and thank you very much. My guests in studio are still Malik Basintali. He is the Savannah Regional Communications Officer of the NDC, and also George AEC. He is the National Disaster Management Organization's Communications Officer, or PRO. Before the break, I mentioned to you, Malik was airborne, but Malik, I want to submit this to you. Taxes reduced or abolished. 1, abolished the 5% VAT NHI on real estate sales. 2, abolished the 17.5 VAT NHI on selected imported medicines that are not produced locally. 3, abolished the 17.5 VAT NHI on financial services. 4, abolished import duty on the importation of spare parts. 5, abolished 1% special import levy. 6, abolished 17.5% VAT and domestic airline tickets. Abolished levies imposed on KIA by local authorities. Reduced import duty for goods and vehicles. Abolished excise duty on petroleum. Provided full corporate tax deduction for private universities who plug back 100% of their profits into the universities. 11, reduced national electricity scheme levy for 5% to 3%. Reduced public lighting levy from 5% to 2%. Reduced special petroleum tax rate from 70.5% to 13%, and reduced specific rates. Reduced 17.5% VAT NHI rates with a flat rate of 3% for traders. 3 more to go. Granted capital gains tax exemptions on stocks, traded on the Ghana Tax Exchange or publicity held securities approved by the SEC, approved the income tax on mutual fund and unit trust schemes, abolished income tax on rate, also reduced withholding tax for gold exports from 3% to 1%. Malik, this is what the government is boasting of. But my question still stands as to whether reduction of taxes on VAT for 3, 4, 5 items amounts to the removal of 6 or 7 items.
Johnny, with all this discussion, there's a commonsensical view to analyzing matters like this. You have reduced this on import duty. You have reduced that on petroleum prices. You have reduced this on whatever, on commodities. You've reduced that on that. What is the current price for clearing a container at the port? Has it reduced or has it gone up? You've reduced taxes on petroleum products. Why? Is it then that a gallon of petrol has metamorphosed from 13 cedis a gallon to nearly 50 cedis a gallon? What has been reduced? When you reduce taxes on any component, the price is expected to fall. And so commonsensically, if you tell me that I've reduced the tax, reduce taxes on everything, if it goes up, it is useless. And that is a commonsensical view to this. And so when I hear them ranting that we have reduced that tax on this, okay, if you reduce taxes on petroleum products, okay, you've reduced taxes in general. You claim to move this economy from taxation to production. Right. Why? Where from the Bola tax on petroleum products?
We need to keep
Why is it that the boss margin?
Accra clean.
You just played the video of the beach being dirty. You did it. Johnny's Bite. I watched it.
But we're not discussing Johnny's Bite.
No, but I'm telling you what you discussed. And what that COVID-19 levy is supposed to be used for. You have testified that it's not being used for its purpose. Because if it were, our cities wouldn't have been filthy.
I didn't say that.
I
just reported what I saw at the beach.
And so you are testimony. I don't need to ask anybody. I don't need to tell you to interview anybody on the streets again. You have seen it. That is on it. Why has the bust margin increased from 3 to 9 pesos? So if the components on petroleum products, taxes that should even be removed, like the SPT, by now it shouldn't have been there.
But you need boss reserves. Boss job is to reserve fuel for you. Yeah, so you need the reserves.
But if you've increased the boss margin and not expanding the tanks, what is of its use? What's its use? And so you need to expand, create new tanks, landing points. Go and check the BP landing point. It's virtually inefficient. People still come to
You are not happy about the SPT.
And so the SPT should not be there.
Why?
Because it was brought in place because fuel prices on the market had reduced to less than $50 a barrel. Today, we are selling at over $84 a barrel. Far higher, almost twice the price. And that is why we must be making profits. In fact, they are making, because there was a windfall of 1.7 billion.
But you are importing more finished products.
But we import less, not what we sell. Sure. Yes, let me give you the figures. In 2019, for example, we exported 2.7 billion. We imported just 1.7 billion. There was a windfall of 1.1. It's in your budget. It's captured. I think you people read some of these budgetary things and forget. And let me quickly bring him back to the 350 new senior high schools. He said it was a 2012 policy. Johnny, please take this. What's the date? What's the date?
2016.
So look at it, read it.
Nana Kumia.
Nana, this is 2016. No, but you can't underrate Nana Kumia.
I'm not underrating.
The man said that you built 350 new senior high schools in 2016. Then you sit here and you say it was a 2012 promise. You see, George is fast. I beg your pardon. George is fast learning from his boss, Mr. Akufo-Addo, who says one thing.
That's not fair.
No, but he's fast learning from him. Who says one thing and does another. No, and he says one thing, and they forget. No, you are learning from. Oh, you don't want to learn from your boss.
That's all.
You don't want to learn from your boss. You don't want to learn from your boss. Yes. Who does not pay him? President Akufo-Addo.
Stop gazumping him.
No. But at
the
end of the day, I'm telling you that he's learning from him. They say one thing and do another. Look, I'm telling you today that even before 2020, the economy was in shambles. It was before 2020 that the IMF told us that we're heading into a ditch. And the figures are there. What are the figures? Let me give him the figures. The construction sector grew at minus 8.5%. It's in your budget. Electricity access has grown by 0.5%.
You have not responded to.
And even during COVID,
there are 18 taxes, according to the Ministry of Finance, reiterated by Dr. Baumia in his lecture, that have been scrapped.
Scrapped where?
You have not spoken about.
I have spoken about. I said scrapped where? You said you are scrapping. And things are going up.
So you are not.
But that is the import.
So you don't believe.
Let me tell you. The import.
If you've introduced over 21 new taxes, Johnny, I tell you today that I have scrapped. I'm coming. I tell you today that I have scrapped tax on this.
Right.
Then through some means, another tax component has been increased to. I scrapped 1 peso tax on this. Then I say, oh, I've scrapped 1 peso. Then another tax component has been increased by 3 pesos. How is that a scrap? I mean, how does that affect the price of?
It means that 2% has gone up.
It has gone up.
I see.
And then it's going to go up again because there's an e-levy. There's a terrible, a deadly e-levy that is going to be imposed. That has been imposed.
But the government has explained to you what they will use the e-levy for.
They said
creation of job for young people, cybersecurity issues, and all of those ones.
E-levy may end up even solving marital problems in this country. Because anything you mention today, they say the e-levy is coming to solve it. What is the outturns? What's the revenue going to be derived from e-levy? About 4 billion.
4.5 billion.
Yes, 4.5. Nearly, let me say 5 billion. Yeah. 5 billion. Yeah. You know how much ESLA generates for them? Over 6 billion in excess. ESLA, the taxation.
Energy sector
levy. You know how much it derives for you, the government. You are the government of the day. Over 6 billion. You know, Johnny, you know how much they have borrowed?
No.
Over 280 billion they have borrowed. If you couldn't use 280 billion, you couldn't use 6 billion generated a fund. President Mahama set it up free of charge. Come and take the money. Get fund levy is there. Stabilization fund is there. COVID-19 you had over 18 billion in excess. All these monies, you could not construct a kilometer of road. You could not construct one.
Government has constructed
You could not construct
roads.
One.
Government year of roads, second year of roads.
But even when President Akufo-Addo said 10,000, he did it. Even when President
Akufo-Addo,
he was teasing. He was
open your eyes.
Why is it throughout the presentation?
You drove from
throughout the presentation.
to
The man
this place. You
didn't
never saw anything.
Before he said 10,000, like the distance from Ghana to China. Before he mentioned that, he did this and started joking.
You drove from Savannah region to this place. George, hold up. You drove from Savannah region to this place. You didn't see good roads.
Nothing.
Tell me one single new road.
I am asking you.
I'm telling you, I said, he's here. Once the Savannah Fulso Solar Road, President Mohammed's baby. And we all know.
But you drove
the road
Savannah to this place.
Right?
President Mohammed's baby. Kumasi, the people of the Ashanti
region. But you didn't see any road constructed by President Akufo-Addo.
I said you should mention 1 kilometer from Savannah to here.
I hear you. Thank you.
That has been constructed by Akufo-Addo.
Stepping for So the man is fact checking your.
I want to touch a little bit on a report by the EIU. If I get a chance. They spoke about President Mahama.
The imports, Johnny, of the reduction of these taxes, if they had not been done, this was elucidated by the Vice President.
Right.
Is that there's going to be compounding of hardship. That's what it means. You get it? So if these taxes had been there, and this 1%, whatever you were talking about that way, brought in, what it means is that it would have compounded the difficulty of the Ghanaian consumer. Okay? And so because we took these off, it gave them some respite. And then those other ones came in, it's plugged the hole, not completely. So, and again, if free SHS, some people make the if it were not there, what it means is that parents would have been saddled with the issue of paying whatever fees there was.
But
okay?
when you
so
say
these are the, when you take this and you give them some relief.
When you say these things, parents will get angry. Me, how? I pay fees for somebody at free SHS. And the amount of money we spend, my wife and I, connecting from Accra to Cape Coast, taxi.
Yes.
Because every time when they vacate, they have to bring their toolbox and trunk home.
Yes. Yes.
You are being a teacher before.
Yes.
Connecting Accra, Cape Coast back.
Yes.
That's plenty money. 300 in.
If you were paying fees, this would have been additional cost.
George, I'm saying that the whole year.
Let's appreciate
George,
the efforts.
I'm saying the whole year. Yes. I'm not saying I don't appreciate.
Yes.
I say the whole year.
Yes.
1,300 is what you pay for me.
Okay.
Now, what I spent. Why shouldn't
When there
I?
are buses going to Cape Coast.
Which of the buses?
When there are buses going to Cape
Which of the
Coast.
buses?
Go to Kaneshi, there's a bus there.
Oh, there is.
Ford bus. You
So I should
can
use
load.
that.
Yes, it's less expensive.
So I should stop at
So
300.
it's your option.
So I should stop at
It's
300.
a choice you're making. Okay?
So
opportunity cost.
So
You
for
make it.
example, when on the 5th of May in 2021,
yes,
I hired a taxi, took the child to school, and then they told the child at the school that we are not reopening now. We will reopen a week after. You remember that?
No, the Director General came.
You remember that?
Yes.
So that my 300 Ghana.
That's why I said you should have joined with the bus. Okay. So now let me
Allow George.
As for the my brother Basintali not seeing any infrastructure and co, I wouldn't begrudge him. He
So
decides
mention
to watch
one
where one school.
New school you've built.
Out of the 350.
350 schools. One new senior high school. One. Just one.
This Abomosu STEM project. Completely new. Completely new.
There are students in it.
Admission is going to. You say you want new schools.
I said one new school.
And let me tell you.
And
let me also tell you.
You don't build
31.
foundation.
You see, they started the E-blocks. They completed 29. Okay? 31 of them.
Napo said the difference and he said we completed 54.
No, Napo said 46. Let me tell you.
So if he said
46.
Listen.
21. I'm here. Let me tell you. The Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempe Doctor said
46.
The reports from the Professor Jenana Opoku Ajim handing over report quoted 46. So he quoted. When auditing was there, everything showed 29 were completed.
He saw 29.
29!
Not 46.
Complete, not 46. And this government is completed 31. Get it. I have all the reports. Okay? 31. And as we speak, that flower one. Then this is the propaganda, that flower one, that the chief.
The Toby 51. Have you completed it?
Yes. 2022, admission year. Students will go into it. Okay.
Gone into it.
No,
the schools are active now.
No, you must finish before you.
But the schools are
open
now.
The president
you get it. So at that point,
the schools open
the
now.
thing was 27% complete, and it got to 97. Togbi still didn't see the importance of
the president jabbed him.
Okay, no, please, I beg you.
President jabbed him.
You didn't hear that.
You jabbed him.
Last one.
The people said when the president gave that response, he suggested to him that when we complain about things in the country, president says,
Oh, David.
No, but he jabbed him clearly.
No, but that's what they say.
No.
Have you gone to Volta region? I go there, so I know.
I buried my mother there just
I know. But did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I beg you.
Did you hear that?
Let me come to Parliament. Now, you see, the minority did something that if they indeed said they were protecting the interest of the Ghanaian people,
right,
they betrayed the Ghanaian people on the day the e-levy was passed. You get it? I was for the passage of the bill, so I was excited what they did. Okay? But that is not serving the interest of the people. You had prepared yourself that you were going to vote against it. When it was tabled, then you say, I'm walking out. Gosh! What was that? I love Haruna Idrisu a lot. But that day, he disappointed.
But then somebody will say that the majority walked out.
Votes. You heard that, remember, the former deputy attorney general,
the majority,
Joseph Penka, one of the finest.
On their own budget.
George, the majority walked
on
out.
Their own budget.
On your own budget.
Your own budget.
Hold on for me. Allow me to do that.
That was strategic.
No.
That was strategic. This one wasn't strategic.
On your own budget.
George,
that was strategic. This one wasn't strategic.
George, that day I was in Parliament.
Haruna is leading. I only want to use
George,
I love you.
George, that day I was in Parliament. Hold on, Malik. That day I was in Parliament. You asked
for
you asked for a division.
Yes.
It was my very good friend.
And they didn't ask for division.
But you asked for a division. He walked out.
They run away.
But they did the division, right?
But you walked out.
This one,
their own budget, they run away.
Johnny, does it sit well with you that they
I don't know. I said I saw you walk out. I saw them walk out. I was in Parliament for both days.
We got the results we wanted. They didn't get the result they wanted.
I said I was in Parliament for both days. You walked out. They walked out.
They run away. Johnny, quickly. I've seen an.
Let's wrap up quickly. Let's go. Our time is up.
Release.
DIU is next time.
The NDC.
They say don't bring your man. That's all.
But we shouldn't bring a man who developed this country, who constructed unprecedented projects, who constructed unprecedented
Read this document, I'll give you the soft copy.
an unprecedented Kotoka International Terminal 3, the expansion of Tamale
So
Interchange,
you are for John
the
Mahama?
roads, all that. I am for a man who developed this
8
country.
years
And
of
it is John Mahama.
NDC built
It is John
3,973
Mahama.
kilometers of
Everybody
road.
knows that it is John
That is
Mahama
what
who
they
can
did.
bring
8 years.
But you
progress
built
to this
Cabinet.
country.
10,800.
That has been fact checked.
That's
George,
that's
he's
like the distance from here to China in a private jet.
And
That's like the
also,
distance from here to China in a private jet.
Sally is
Private jet.
In a private jet.
PRO or the communications officer of the Savannah Regional NDC. Happy birthday to Prince Leslie Chills, aka Kwame Scientific. This is from Mamasita. Happy birthday to you. Also to Sandra Yeboah at Kompu Ghana Phones. This is from Oscar. Happy birthday. Belated one to Mr. Jacob Apelete Agbenyeku. You're 70 years old. You are in a plow. Happy birthday. He's a big fan of TV3. Also to Dede Agbojat from Anthony Nukpenu. Happy birthday to Nana AC Asian. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Also to you, Mabel Efe Kumsing of Marie Stopes Ghana. This is from Martin and the social marketing team at Marie Stopes. Also, happy.
The original this thing.
Yes. Greater Accra Regional. Yes.
And be threatening you.
He's not threatening you.
Friend Charles Dingo.
Charles Dingo.
Formerly with ADB.
ADB.
Charles Dingo. Yes,
Charles
happy
Dingo.
birthday to him.
Jonathan Simon of the ADB.
And good morning to
Once-
Achamfu Sam of Sunyani University.
Okay. Masterna Smokes in Tamale. Thank you very much for my smoke this morning. Grateful. I look like a Dagomba man. I am not one. I'll see you after the break.
Cookies that I put a lot of